that we're doing with the cute cactus wearing on the front. Cactus love. Yeah. I thought that's a cute one for this month. So this is a great project to do, and it comes at a great time, I think, for the spring coming. And
yes,
it's awesome. You can give it for
Mother's Day. That's right.
That's coming up. Right? I thought, what a great fun thing for your daughters or your mother-in-law, whoever you want.
Exactly.
To make these cute zipper pouches. And so that's our project for this month. If you buy the project, if you buy the zipper pouch, if you buy the zipper pouch, then you get the design free. It is downloadable after April 1st, which obviously now that would be the case. If you purchased the pouch prior to that, you should have received an email that had the download I
think April 1st,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, okay. As of April 1st, you should have got an email that had the design that you could download. If that is not the case, please reach out to us and we'll make sure that you get that design. But you do have to purchase the pouch in order to get the design.
Yeah, the design.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
So. Okay.
Okay, you know what? Should we talk about the new Kimber Bell stabilizer?
Yeah.
I know we're going to use some in Sewing Club, but we also have some that people could use in bags, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about, we do have fusible backing. And I really like to use this fusible backing on the back of all my projects, even if you do hand stitchery.
Yes.
You know, and then you just leave it on inside your project, and
it's a stabilizer. It really helps to keep it from puckering, or it just helps keep it flat and nice. And we use it in this
in the zipper pouch
today.
Yep.
So that's really nice. But it's just a fusible backing that you can use, and you can use it for a lot of your sewing projects require it. I know that I've made a lot of bags, and
it just kind of helps keep the shape, right?
Yeah, it gives it a little bit more stability, and it's really nice.
Yeah, so this is, and actually it's going to be under new releases. Yes, new releases. Okay. Love this stuff.
Perfect.
Okay. So now we also have, we're going to be using this in our project today as well. And this is called Fusible Pill and Stick. Okay. Fusible Pill and Stick.
And that you use it to transfer your project onto your fabric, onto your leather, onto your...
It's like for your applique pieces, right? For your applique pieces.
Yes.
Applique pieces right here. So nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And flex foam. Who out there makes purses or bags, right? Any bags. Flex foam. Kimber Bell now has their own flex foam.
And that's really great. That's a good one to have. Those are any kind of bags, gives it a little bit more forming, so it'll stand up or whatever you need it for. So it's a nice one.
Yep,
it's a great one.
So we've got that.
So Kimber Bell's come out with that one, and that works really nice.
And then today we are also going to be using Wash Away Sticky Back Embroidery Stabilizer. Okay?
Yes.
You're going to use this for your sewing as well. Okay?
Yes, it works great. I was amazed when they did this last month and they used this Wash Away Sticky Back Stabilizer, but you put your design on it and then you put that onto your fabric, and it helps you to guide where your design goes, and that's really nice. It comes in a couple of sizes.
It comes in a 20-inch roll, and then also comes in your 12-inch roll. Okay, I really love this.
Right.
You know, with machine embroidery, but we're also using it with the sewing, so that's fabulous.
It's a new thing that I've never used for applique, and it's
great, right? It's really turned out really good.
Used it last month on those bunny baskets, and then this month for this one, we'll be showing you how to use it. It's awesome.
Okay. Also, we have Wash Away topping for machine embroidery. So for you, I'm not sure if anybody out there has machine embroidery, but you could probably even use this if you're doing if you're appliquing. Put this down on your towel first, because it hides your, or It holds down the pile of your towel. Like if you're doing a bath towel or minky or fleece or whatever, it just holds that down so you're not
yes,
hiding your stitches. Okay?
right.
Fabulous.
So your stitches will pop out a little bit better, and it's easier to see them, and it's
Yes.
easier to work
with it
yeah,
too. Yes.
with it on there. So
Yep.
that works really nice if you have anything, especially if you're using like on the bunny basket last month.
Oh yes. Yep.
It helps to hold that pile down, on the top
Yep.
of that fleece, the minky stuff that we used for that.
Okay, now we just showed you some sticky back wash away. Now Kimber has come out with the sticky back tearaway stabilizer. Okay, we have the 20-inch roll. We also have a 12-inch roll. Okay, and we have pre-cuts.
These pre-cut sheets, and they are a little bit bigger. They're a 10 by 12 in this, not just the 8.5 by 11s type ones. So this one works really great too. So yeah, the
so
Tearaway sticky back.
I'm glad to see that I think we probably got all her stabilizer now,
yeah.
and I love her stabilizer.
Yeah, and I don't know of any other stabilizer that she doesn't have that you would use.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll come up with something. Though.
Oh, I'm
Who
sure.
knows?
Yep, they will. They'll come up with more stuff. They always do. So,
So anyway, let's just get started here really quickly. When you download your design, it also comes with your instructions. And a couple of things I was just talking with Lisa a little bit about. As you look at your instructions here, it tells you the things that you need on what you need to cut, and you're using a couple of leather. We use a green leather and the pink leather. Then we use 2 pieces of felt, different colors of felt, and then we're also using a clear vinyl. And those things are all on our website, and today you can purchase any of those for 15% off, but you need to make sure and use the coupon code that's down at the bottom of our screen right there that says Sewing Club 15. So anything you purchase today that has to do with embroidery, sewing club type stuff here that we're using today will be on our website, and you can purchase it at the 15% off. So that would include all of our stabilizers and the felt and the vinyl, and but it does not include the zipper pouch. That the fill in the blank zipper pouch does not come on the coupon code. So if you haven't already purchased your zipper pouch, you can go online and get that, and then you get the design for free. Okay, but the thing that I wanted to point out was on your instructions here, on your materials, it talks about the fusible backing and your wash away sticky back stabilizer, and it also talks about the fusible peel and stick. And there's a little heart, and then the wash away has a little water droplet, and then another heart on your fusible. But the colors of these little things match the colors on our stabilizer. So on our wash away stabilizer here, you can see that it's this dark blue color, and then the water droplet is also a dark blue on your, so you'll know exactly what you're supposed to be using at any particular time during this. So that works out really nice. On our fusible, obviously there's 2 different green colors here, but one is a little bit darker than the other. So our fusible peel and stick comes with a darker green fusible peel and stick heart, and then our fusible backing is the lighter green on our instructions. So as you go through here, you'll be able to tell exactly which ones you're supposed to be using. Also, our slap bands. Let's show our slap bands really quickly here. We had them here. Anyway, our slap band, their colors also match the same as the colors of our on the front of our stabilizers. Sorry, so those slap bands are the same color. So here, like on this one here, we have the wash away sticky back. Here's our slap band, and you just take it on your roll after you've opened it, and you just kind of put that on there, and there you go. There we go. And it has all of the different colors of the same thing. So those slap bands work awesome.
Love them. Yes, they are
awesome. So then when we're almost empty with our stabilizer here, we can take this off and just put it on your wrist or put it on your bag that you're going to take to the store, and you know exactly which one you're supposed to get. So that works really nice. Yeah, those slap bands are awesome to have to help keep it from unrolling and going across the floor when you drop it off of your sewing table, because that's exactly what happens a lot of times. So we'll get started here really quickly and just kind of go through these instructions really fast to see what we need to do in order to do this bag, this zipper pouch. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece of our fusible backing. So that's what I've done here, is got a piece of the fusible backing, and on the front of the zipper pouch it tells you what size you need, and it says 7.5 by 7.25 by 10.5.
And that is the large zipper pouch.
Yes, this is the large zipper pouch, and you take that piece of fusible backing and you find the front. And to find the front, you make sure that your zipper is on the left side here. And you're going to turn it over, okay? And then you're going to iron that on the back side here. And that just gives it a little bit more stability, so that when you're doing your applique, you're doing your embroidery on it, it just gives it a little bit more stability there, so that when you're working on it, it's nice. It's not a floppy. You can see how it's a little bit stiffer.
Yeah, and
so
kind of firm.
Yeah, more firm, and then it makes it so that you're able to do that. Okay, so you iron that on. That's the first thing you do, is to iron that on the back side. But again, you just make sure that the front of the zipper pouch, that your zipper is to the left.
And that's when it's closed, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's when it's closed, the zipper to the left. Okay. So then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of this wash away sticky back stabilizer, and you're going to cut a piece of it, and you're going to take, when you get your instructions, it gives you a couple of templates. It gives you a details and a shape template, and then it also gives you another template for your design. Okay, those two things are really important for you to print off when you have your instructions. The rest of them, you could leave them on your computer and you can kind of follow through on your computer, but these two, you really need to print those off. So you have them because you're going to trace those off on there. So you take a piece of your wash away sticky back, and I can just kind of pull this off of here really quickly. Then it won't stick back on. I better leave it on. Okay, so you take that and you trace the blue lines off of your design template. Okay, so what I've done here is I've taken this and I used a light box. You can, it's pretty easy to do it without a light box, because these lines are pretty dark, and so it's easy to see it. But if your eyes are old like mine are getting, you need a little bit of light underneath it, and you can use a light box. You can go to the window, whatever works for you. I know that I've in the past showed you my light box and how that works. But you take it and you just trace off, as you can see here, I've traced off the dark blue lines, which are the tag, with the string and the little holder on the top of your terrarium, and the 2 cactuses and the blossom. Okay, so you trace those off onto your sticky back. Then you're going to take this paper off. This is the piece of paper that I took off of the underneath side, which exposes your sticky part of your sticky back stabilizer. And then you align your far corner here with the far corner on your bag. So that shows you exactly where you're going to place your design. Okay? So after you do that, then you're going to use this peel and stick. There. Oh my God, it totally went out of my brain. Sorry. You're going to use your peel and stick, and one side of it is paper and the other side has a little bit of a texture. And that's the side that is going to be ironed on. But you take this, and again, you take your templates here, and you're going to trace your, I just used this one here. Trace the outside layer here. You just set that down there. That's kind of hard for you to see, but you can see how you can see through that. And you're tracing off of your design template. You're going to trace your 4 different little pieces that you're going to use. Okay. Then you cut those out and take them over to your pieces of whatever you're going to use. And in our case, we used the green leather for the cactus. We also used, there's 2 cactuses there because I learned really quickly that your soil piece is already reversed. So that worked out really great. But your cactuses and your flowers weren't reversed, okay, on here. So the first one I did, I traced it off just right there, and then I peeled it off, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's backwards. So I had to do it over again. So make sure that you reverse that when you do trace that off. And that was really odd for me at first because I thought Kimberbell's always been really good about reversing them. Your soil's reversed, but your one cactus is not. So remember that. And so I had to do it over again. But I had enough felt in my Go With It kit because we do have the Go With It kits that gives you all of the products that you're going to need to make this pouch right here in this little thing. And so you can purchase these Go With It kits online. Okay. So you take that and trace that off, and then you put it onto your felt and onto your leathers, onto your other piece of felt, and onto this leather for your project, for the things that you're going to use. Oh, I think I dropped my, oh, there. Sorry, my microphone just went on the floor. There, keeps coming off. Okay, so the one thing that they did have you do is you take your piece of fabric that you're going to use for your soil, and you take it over to your sink, and I just doused it really good with hot water. And they wanted you to shrink it. If there was any, if it was going to shrink at all. So you take this, that's right, this one, instruction right here. You take this on your instruction sheet number 3, it tells you to take it and you dip it in really hot water. And then you let it dry, you know, squeeze all the moisture out of it as best you can, then take it over to your ironing board and you iron it. And that will shrink it if it's going to shrink at all.
Okay.
But that's what you would do. And then you take your piece of fusible peel and stick with your paper side up, and you put it onto your fabric with your design already traced off on there, and then you cut it out. And so I end up with it looking like this. Okay. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to peel the paper off of the back of it. Okay, and this is where the peel and stick, Kimber peel and stick is really nice because it's kind of sticky on the back side, and you put it on there and it sticks. And so then you don't have to, you can peel it off and put it down and take it off and on.
And you don't have to iron it down.
You don't have
correct?
to iron it down. That's correct. You don't have to iron it down.
So let's put
we're going to take our cactus here first, and we're going to put that down. Okay. And then I'm going to take, and then I would take this to my machine and I would stitch. That's the one thing that they have you do also, is take another piece of your wash away sticky back and trace each one of them off onto a piece of your wash away sticky back. Okay. Then you're going to take this, and I don't want to use your scissors because those are, well,
It's okay.
it's okay. This is paper. You're going to take these and you're going to cut them out. Is there another piece?
Yeah, there's a pair of scissors right here.
Okay. I don't want to use my good scissors. I want to use paper scissors to do this. Okay. So you're going to take these and you're just going to cut them out a little bit here. So what this does is it gives you the design on your that you're going to use to embroider on top of your felt piece. So you would take this after you put this on here. So what I would do first is take this, and I'm going to put this cactus on here. As you can see, it's not reversed, but it works just great. Put this on here, then I'm going to take this over to my machine, and I'm just going to stitch an outline just on the outside. And you could use just a straight stitch on it, and that works really nice. But so I would do my cactus piece first, and then I would take my other cactus here, and I'm going to put that on there also. And then I'm going to stitch it down just on the very outside edge. I'm going to stitch that down. Then I'm going to take my little flower here. And again, you're peeling this off and putting it on there. And again, you don't have to iron these on again if you're using this peel and stick.
The Kimber peel and
The
stick.
Kimber peel and stick. You don't have to iron it down again. So that makes it really nice. Okay, then I'm going to put my little pink flower on there on the top, my little bloom, and I'm going to stitch around that like that. Okay, then I would take my soil and I would take it and put it down and stitch it down. Okay, so that's how you do that. Then you would go back and use these pieces. You can take these, and again, the paper just peels off. I would cut that around a little bit closer, and you can take that and put that on there and then stitch around that. That shows you exactly where you're going to stitch. So that's kind of a unique idea that Kimber has that I've never thought about. So if you have this is a very simple detailing, so it's not something that you couldn't do free-handed, but if you wanted it to follow it exactly like they have it, this is a great way to do it.
I think that's a great way, yes.
I have never thought about using something like this to transfer my designs. So
okay, somebody was asking us, do you applique or straight stitch?
I would just use a straight
I think
stitch.
a straight stitch. Yeah, just
Yeah.
go around the outside edge.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to use like a blanket stitch on these, you could, but this is meant to be a raw edge.
A raw edge applique, and just
So
to,
just a raw edge. So I would just use a
just
straight
a straight stitch. Just come in maybe like 1/8 of an inch.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I always like to have a guide, so have a little guide to have you go around
Yep.
each piece.
And I use, when I do a lot of these, like if I use my blanket stitch, I use my open toe foot
Oh, that's a great idea.
on
yes.
my machine. I use an open toe foot on that, and that makes it so I can see exactly where I'm going. If you don't have an open toe foot, then your other feet will work for it, but it'll be a little bit harder to see. So that's why I think this
Yeah, so you
would
just lay it
work
right on top.
really great,
Yep.
because you can just lay that right on top of there. Again, you'd have to cut it out a little bit better, but you could lay that right on top of there, and that gives you
And
your
then just
detail.
stitch, and then you just rinse that away, and
Yep,
it's
and
gone.
then it just washes away. And as in the instructions, it tells you have to soak it for about 20 minutes. I found when I did the bunny basket last month, I found it took a little bit longer than 20 minutes, especially on that fluffy stuff that we used.
Okay.
It took a little bit longer, and then I had to kind of scrape it a little bit, but it
worked.
It
Yep.
worked. Holy cow, did it work. I was really quite amazed at how well it did work for that. Okay, then you would take, again, this is your little tag right there, and put that on there, and your design is a heart, so you would put that over the top of your little tag and sew down. And you could use different colors of thread, you can use different stitches. I would probably use like a double stitch, maybe.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, I
thi-
think the double
this-
stitch or
This
the
is,
triple stitch
yeah,
would be
this
good.
is a great way to use a lot of your decorative designs, decorative stitches on your machine. Get to know your machine. I think we've talked about this before. Get to know your machine. Get to know those designs that your machine can do.
And I think before I would do a decorative stitch, just have a little piece of practice
Yes,
fabric.
very much.
And kind of, you know.
I also found that on my practice fabrics, I needed to put a little, either use a couple of pieces of fabric or put a little bit of stabilizer on the back side of it, because in that way you know exactly how that stitch is going to
Yep.
stitch out even on this little pouch.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so that works really nice. So then you would, again, stitch all of your little things out on here, and then at that point, is when you need to cover this with your vinyl. Okay. So yeah, for your hand embroidery are the ones that you would use for your cactus. You're going to use a long stitch on your cactus for your spines, and you're going to use a stem stitch for your little brass ring up here. So you're going to do that, and then you're going to use just a back stitch for your string on the top of your terrarium here. We've talked about those in the past, and Kimber has some great instructions here on how to do those stitches. They're back on. Yeah, they're back on page 8.
Yeah, and that's what's nice is that she does have them on all of her.
Yes, she does.
All in her
she
thing,
puts
so.
great little instructions out there for you to use. So you would do those stitches, your decorative stitches on your cactuses, and the decorative stitches there on your flower bloom. So that's what you would do there. So then you make sure that everything's nice and good and clean. You don't have any threads laying around. We like to use these paper tape lint rollers.
Lint rollers.
Those work really nice to get anything off of that. Okay. So then you would take that, at that point is when you would take that and soak off your stabilizer. Okay, because then you're going to take your vinyl and cover everything. So you got to make sure that you do that, and you got to let it dry.
You let it dry. Make sure you get all your extra little.
All your little threads and everything off, and then you're going to let it dry. So that's why it's kind of hard for us to show all of this stuff here, because we can't
it-
wash it
yeah.
off because we don't have the time to do that. But yeah, you would take that, let all of that wash off, and then you would let that dry. And then you go back and this is when you're going to put your vinyl over the top of that. So what you do is you take a piece of tracing paper, and this stuff would work really great. And you take your design, you go and
Right over there.
oh, here's my design template right here. Take your piece of tracing paper and trace out your design of your terrarium, just the red, okay? Then you're going to take that and you're going to put it over the top of your vinyl. And sometimes, as we all know, our sewing machine doesn't like to sew on vinyl really good. I found a roller foot works really great, or a Teflon,
yeah, the Teflon foot. Yes, that
on
is
your
right.
machine. So those are a couple of things that you would need to have. Or if you just take this and your tracing paper and you put this over the top of that, trace your design on it, put this over the top of that, and then stitch it on with your tracing paper.
Yeah, and then that just comes
and
right
then
off.
that just
peels right off.
just peels right back. Okay. So then you take your vinyl, and you just with your sewing machine, you're going to follow these same lines here as what is on this over the top of your cactus. So then your terrarium is there.
And it does stitch over the top of your cactuses. So
Yes.
make sure you're
Yes,
you're
it
not
does.
doing that wrong. Or in
Yes.
the dirt, it just makes that shape, and it's so cute.
As you can see how these lines here, I'm hoping you can see this. That's okay. She's got a screen over, so I'm not sure exactly you can see what I'm doing here. Anyway, these you can see these red lines on your design template. That's why I say it's so important for you to have these this way. There.
There we go.
I think that's it.
There we go.
There we go. These red lines here is what you're going to trace out onto that tracing paper. That tracing paper goes over your piece of vinyl. Then you put your vinyl over the top of your...
You put the vinyl underneath your paper.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I mean. Your tracing paper goes on top of your vinyl.
There you go.
And then that goes on top of your design here on your pouch. And then you're going to follow those lines.
Oh, that's and that's a
sew
great
it
idea.
down.
I really like that idea.
Yeah. Then you just sew that down on there. And then you're going to cut your vinyl. And then if you wanted to go back and reinforce your stitching or make it heavier, you could do that. Again, that's where I think your decorative stitches on your machine will come in handy for you. Because as you can see, hold on, don't turn that one yet.
Okay, sorry.
As you can see here, it's a kind of a little bit of a heavier stitch.
So I think if you do a triple stitch,
A triple stitch
I think would look really nice.
A triple stitch would be great. But as you can see how we've done this all the way around on those lines through your tracing paper, and then that tracing paper just peels right off. Yep.
So you're stitching right on the paper.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So that works out really nice so that you can do that way. And then you just cut your vinyl out so it has your little terrarium on it like that.
That is so adorable.
So that works out really, really cute, I think. So anyway, then we're going to show you how to, let's take this. I'm going to just fold this up so I don't lose my parts and pieces. I also used, if you're ironing on velveteen, it's really good to use a barrier of some kind. And I use these applique sheets. I know I've talked about this applique sheet is a great thing to have when you're doing applique like this. Okay, so your question is, we use a triple stitch, do you sew it over 3 times? No, you should have, well, you can, yes, don't get me wrong on that. You can use that, sew it over 3 times if you needed to, but like my machine has a stitch where it actually stitches 3 times and then goes to the next 3 times and then to the next 3 times.
So it does it 3 times right in a row.
Yeah, yeah. So you're not having to go over it 3 times. It is just a heavier stitch.
So check out your machine.
Check your machine. If you only have a straight stitch machine, it might not have an extra stitch like that. So yes, you would just go over it
3 times.
2 or 3 times, whichever works for you. So thanks for your question, Diane. That works great. Thank you so much. But so yes, that's the way it would work. Okay. Then once we get everything all done, we've got our wash away stabilizer off of there. We've got all of our hand embroidery done on everything. Then we're going to show you here really quickly how to sew your pouch together. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take it, and we've got this put together really nice. Thanks, Lisa. You did a great job there.
Well, thank you.
But I'm going to take it apart again.
That's okay.
So what we've got here is we've got our zipper pouch, our front, and our lining. Okay. So we're going to make sure, the first thing we're going to make sure and do is open our zipper a little bit. And yeah, probably about a third, maybe a half of the way down, you want to open your zipper pouch. Make sure that that's open, because otherwise your stoppers, if you sew it and your stopper's out there, you're in trouble. Your zipper thing here. Anyway, so you're going to take your 2 front and back pieces of the pouch, and you're going to put those together like this. So we're going to take those, and we're going to just use these. You can use straight pins, you can use these clover clips. I love clover clips.
I do too.
I love these. I use them for everything. So we're going to take our clover clips and put them that way. Then you're going to take your lining pieces and put them together like this. Okay, so match those up nice and neat so that your corners match. There. Okay, then on your zipper, make sure that your zipper part here is pointed towards the front of your bag. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to twist those toward, this is the one part that's open, and I'm going to twist those towards the front of the bag. And then I'm going to take one of these clips here and I'm going to snap that on there like that, so that my zipper is towards the front of my bag there. Then I'm going to go over to this side, and this is where it's closed. And I'm going to just pinch that right there. So I'm going to take my seams, pull them to the inside, but I'm going to push my zipper to the front of the bag like that. Okay. And I'm going to put the clip right there like that. So then you're looking at it like this. So make sure your zipper's pointed this direction on both ends. Okay. This end and this end. Okay. Then we're going to go to the sewing machine and we're going to leave an opening here at this point. So this is where we're going to turn our bag, is through the inside lining of the bag. And we're going to leave a small opening here. I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to do a straight stitch all the way across here, down this direction here on my corners, and then back up to this point, and then back over here. And then I'm going to probably do a double stitch right here, just a tack,
exactly.
a double tack here on, so that you have that nice and straight there. Okay, so then that's the way. If you choose to box your corners, that's where you would do that here. So I would take like maybe a half of an inch at the most.
You really don't need to box them very much.
Yeah, no, not very much at all, but maybe a half an inch. You're going to just kind of box your corners in a little bit here. So you would take that. What you can do is just take a little half-inch square. Take your ruler, one of your rulers, and just take and cut a half-inch square here, half-inch here on all 4 corners. Then that way you make sure that they're the same. And then you're going to take it and pull them out this way. And so we need to do a boxed corner one of these times.
We do need to, don't
show
we?
people how to do a boxed corner.
You know what, maybe next month.
Yeah, next month.
Next month is going to be one.
It is. So we'll talk a little bit about. We'll talk about next month's bag. So it's kind of a cute one, but it does do a boxed corner. So anyway, you would box your corners at this point here, but we're not boxing corners on this one. So anyway, if you choose to box them, this is where you would box your corners.
So let me just make sure you guys understand. You do need to leave an opening in the lining.
Yes.
Because you have to turn it through the lining first. Then once you get it going that way, then you're going to open up the zipper the rest of the way, and then you're going to turn it that way. Somebody was asking earlier, how come you don't close that off and just turn it through the zipper? Well, if we close that off,
we can't get to the zipper.
We can't get to the zipper, right?
Right.
So we need to make sure that that opening is there in the seam.
Yes,
in the lining.
Yeah. So somebody's asking about this tutorial. Yes, it is available on our Facebook page all the time. So all you would have to do is go back up into the files and search fill in the blank. And it will bring up the tutorials that we have for the fill in the blank program for this year. And I believe it's going to be there forever, as far as I know. So, yeah, so watching it, this time it looks very easy, you're right. So if you go back and you can watch it again and again, or watch it as you're doing it, makes a big difference.
It does.
So yes, Laurel, it is available.
Okay. So now
that we've got it all stitched together here, this is what it looks like. And it will look just like this, okay? So then we're going to take this and we're going to pull this through this way. So I always like to go and turn my corners first here like that, and then I'm going to reach inside this and I'm going to grab the inside here and I'm going to pull it all the way through.
So this is why you really need to have the opening left in your lining.
Yes. Okay. And this zipper, as you know, it's going to be closed. I'm going to close this up a little bit here so that you'll know what we're looking at. So it's going to look about like that.
Yep.
As you're turning it. Let's pull that up there a little bit. So it's going to look a little bit like that. So you're going to pull this out like this, and then you're going to get to this point and you can finish unzipping your zipper. Okay. And so then we're going to come to this point and turn our corners.
Now the R&K tool works really nice here for the corners. I know you guys have heard us talk about the R&K tool. It is the best turning tool ever.
So we're going to take that
and it just helps poke out your corners.
Poke those corners out there a little bit. It does, and it's got a nice little round end on it, so it doesn't
poke through. Yep, that's one reason I really like it.
Yeah, I've used some of my stilettos at one time, and it just pokes right through.
Yeah, or even scissors pokes through too.
Pokes right through. So we're gonna just take those and poke our corners out, and then at this point is we're gonna take this, and there's a couple of ways that you can do this. You can either just take this and hand stitch that closed, or
we've got
some of this double-sided basting tape, and you just take that and you iron that on one side and then iron it.
And actually, I'm thinking you could even cut that in half.
Yeah, because this, you don't make a big seam. You don't make a very big seam. It's 1/4 inch isn't a good.
Yep, so I think and then you can use it twice as much, right? And you can
use it, yeah. So you just use a small strip of it and you press it on one side and then press it on the other side and press them together, and it just it sticks.
Really
so there's a couple of different kinds. There's this Clover has this double-sided basting tape here by Nancy Zeman, and they also have this fusible web that works really good too. I've used both of those.
Of them. Yeah, they're both good.
Yeah, they work really nice to close this off. Or you could, like we said, you can hand stitch that closed. Lisa says she's a hand stitcher.
I'm a hand stitcher.
Or you could take it to your machine and just stitch really close to that edge.
Yep.
And it's in the bottom of your bag. It's not going to show, so it's not going to be a big deal. But you stitch that closed there, and then you stick that down inside of your bag, and it fits so nice. And now you have a cute little zipper pouch with a cactus on the front. And I just think those are so fun. There's so many fun things that you could do with them. Like you can use it for makeup. You can use it for how many things do you put in the bottom of your purse that fall into the big, dark, deep abyss? And so, so just a fun thing to have and to give away as a fun gift for a birthday or for Mother's Day or whatever. I just think it's a fun
gift.
Cute design on the outside and just a fun little thing. So that's what this is, the April one for the fill in the blank. Next month,
Lisa. It is so cute. Well, handsome, I guess. Should we say handsome?
There.
Manly?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's show them the new one for next month. Now you can go out. This is already on our website to purchase. It's going to be the green felt bag, okay? And it's going to be just a bag like this, okay? But you make it into a boxed bag. A boxed, what do I want to call it?
Just a box
bag.
Zipper
pouch.
Just a box
so
zipper
you can
pouch.
like a shaving kit. So there is not a go with it kit for this month, okay? But you can purchase, and we will give you 15% off of the black leather, okay? The black leather, you can get out of each tube, you can get 2 bags, okay? Black leather, you can get 2 bags.
Which will do the man bag and the mustache and the handle. So there's the 3 things that you're going to use. So you're going to do, like we said, it's going to have a mustache on it. It's going to say man bag on it. And it's also going to have a handle on it. That's the best part right there.
Yeah, it is. So just know that your leather, if you go out and purchase the black leather, you will purchase 2 bags, because now you can get 2 projects out of one thing of
one
of
for
the
your
leather.
dad and one for your husband, or one for your dad and one for your brother, or whatever.
I think that's a great Father's Day gift.
Oh, I think so too. What a great
or a
time.
birthday gift, but I think Father's Day gift would be,
Father's
you can
Day
get that all
coming up
done and ready to go for Father's Day. So
see, you've got it all set. You can do this one for Mother's Day in May. There you go.
There you go.
And then the man bag next month, we're going to show you how to make that one, and you can do that one for Father's Day come June.
Yep, and the leather, the black leather, you can get 15% off of. But just remember, when you purchase the felt bag, there's no discount for that.
Right.
But you can get that on your black leather.
Right.
Okay.
But then you will get the free design. If you get the olive bag, you will get the free design come May 1st.
Yes.
Right.
And let's give them have we given them the discount code? The discount code is Sewing Club 15.
Yeah. I think it's there at the bottom of the screen.
That's right. It is. Yep.
Everybody will be able to see it. So yeah.
So
anyway,
anybody have any questions before we go?
Anything else that we can talk about with you guys? Please join us next month for our embroidery club and our sewing club, which is the first Tuesday of every month. We have some classes coming up and some Kimber events coming up. So if you have any questions or concerns about those, you can go online and take a look at those. We have some really fun classes coming up. Barb's got doing some fun things and that coming, so that will be fun. Anything else?
Nothing I can think of.
You guys can think of anything else that we're missing here that we need to talk about at all? Please reach out to us if you have any questions. We'll be glad to help you in any way you can. You can reach us at info@mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com or call our customer service. They're there to help you, and they know what they're doing. So we're doing great. We're glad to be here for you and hope that we can help in any way.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful day.
So don't forget, go online and use Sewing Club 15. So anything
do you know
that
what?
we did.
Let me tell you, if you order $75 worth of product, you get shipping for free. If it's less than $75, it is a low rate of $5.
$5 shipping.
$5 shipping. So
that's an awesome deal.
yeah, I forgot about the shipping. So yes, we make sure we get the shipping in there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
okay.
So let us know what we can do to help. We're here for you and glad to help in any way. Okay, thanks guys.
See you later. Thanks for
Have fun.
coming.
Have a good day.